Do you sometimes have the feeling that you want to punch somebody really hard? I hope not, but today we have one Pokemon in Pokemon Unite that definitely followed through with this strategy. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our new attendant to the guide, Lucario. Today we're gonna have a look at everything what Lucario has to offer, what moves, what abilities, which items are best used and how to use it effectively or in the most effective way on the battlefield. And if you know my guides and my series, first of all, my name's Kay, welcome to this channel and this video. And the second thing is, I have a bet for you. If you can take something from this video, if you learn something new, some new strategies or tips and tricks, I would be tremendously happy if you could exchange this for a like and a subscription on the channel. This not only helps me, but of course also the channel and the overall community to grow even further and to get more people into the channel, into the game and into the community of Pokemon Unite. But with that said, let's have a look at our body Lucario in Pokemon Unite. First, let's have a general look at Lucario. Its difficulty is expert and it's a melee all-rounder, fighting with the normal attack type when dealing damage. Mobility 3.5 stars, offense, endurance scoring around 3 and support very low with a half. That means Lucario is an all-rounder and is capable of doing a lot of things in a match of Pokemon Unite. But let's have a detailed look. Somebody might think that Raiolo would be the first evolution, but they didn't introduce any evolution. But anyway, we started Lucario at level 1 and finish it on level 15 as well. The moves we have to our disposal at level 1 or 3 are Quick Attack and Meteor Dash. Quick Attack lets us launch forward with speed that makes us almost invisible and dealing damage to the opposing Pokemon we are coming in contact with. And Meteor Mash blasts forward with a punch like a comet, so that's the name Meteor, and it's dealing damage and shoving Pokemon which will be hit from this attack. When I'm starting out, I always choose Quick Attack. Why? Because these moves can hit multiple A-pumps, especially in the beginning when you're starting down to the middle of your lane. Like you see here, both of them get hit for a good amount of damage, and so you can increase your lane clearing speed and help you to get quicker to the middle farm and then steal that experience from those enemies. And shortly after, you of course unlock Meteor Mash, and like we've read, when you're hitting enemies you can use this and shove them away, stunning them for a quick amount of time and thus helping you if somebody's trying to get away or trying to get too close to you so you can push it away. At level 5 we get a really big power spike, and that's the moment where Lucario really starts to shine. We have the decision between Extreme Speed and Power Up Punch. Extreme Speed let us charge forward with a breathtaking speed. Oh my god, this description is trying to convey a message with a very descriptive way. But anyway, when we are attacking with this move, we can reset the cooldown when hitting an enemy. But we cannot reset that cooldown on the same enemy in a quick succession. But I'll show you in a second how you can know which Pokemon will trigger this effect. At level 11 we get Extreme Speed Plus, which also increases the attack for a short time when this move is used. And the other move is Power Up Punch. This charges up a very powerful attack. While we're charging power, the movement speed is decreased, but the attack slowly increases over time, and the damage we are getting is decreased. When letting go, we are charging in designated direction and hitting the enemy Pokemon. And the good thing, the lower the amount of the enemy HP is, the harder this attack hits. And this move's cooldown is also reduced every time when a move from us hits. It also gets improved at level 11 to Power Up Punch Plus, where we become immune to hindrances while charging power. The other viable option is Power Up Punch. And when we're using it, your speed is decreased, you see the range is good, and it gets increased for a certain amount of time when we hit this marker. So up until that point, the damage isn't quite complete, but when reaching it, we are dealing devastating blows to our enemies and jumping to them. If you're using it earlier, you don't have the whole amount of attack. Here we have 977, and we're using with the quick succession, it's only around, let's have a look again, 761. So you get more damage the longer you use the ability, but at least to this marker. And there are two groups of people playing Lucario. You either can play it with Extreme Speed or with Power Up Punch. In my case, I mostly like to take Power Up Punch because of those hard-hitting attacks. But of course you use mobility and the possibility to hit multiple enemies with the chaining combo. Bone Rush is always the option you should take, but we are talking about the other ability in a second. And you see that this is depending on the playstyle you want to have, but at level 5 this power spike with either Power Up Punch or Extreme Speed is humongous, and that's the moment where Lucario starts really to shine when fighting with him. Like we've said, at level 5 the big power spike comes. Let's have a look at Extreme Speed first. When using this attack, you see some blue aura around enemy Pokemon. And when a Pokemon has this aura, you can strike it with extreme speed once, and then a second time, and then the cooldown isn't reduced normally. In this case, you can see it because I have turned cooldowns off generally, but normally when you have those blue aura, you can take a hit, and the second hit doesn't have this aura. So just imagine if you have multiple enemy Pokemon on your lane, every time you hit a new Pokemon with that, and when they're in a group, that's most likely to happen. We can see it here at the bees. We're striking once, twice, a third time, a fourth time, and a fifth time. You can use this move lots of times, and that can deal a big amount of damage. At level 7, the next two abilities come into the pack with Bone Rush and Close Combat. When picking Bone Rush, we're performing a combo with the bone, dealing multiple blows to the enemy and shoving them away. The final attack sends the bone flying, and when we use this move again, we are rushing to that location and jumping down there. Bone Rush Plus will be unlocked at level 13, and when we use this move again, it will reset the cooldown of Extreme Speed or Power Up Punch depending on which we've chosen. The second one is Close Combat. This unleashes a combo attack, dealing multiple blows to opposing Pokemon, and at level 13 it's become Close Combat Plus, which also increases the damage dealt by this move. And the next ability at level 7 is Bone Rush, which I would take always if you're playing Lucario. Why? We get to that in a second. But you see, Bone Rush has a quite good amount of range. You can use it, let's take this Corpse for example, hitting it a few times, shoving it away, and you've seen the bone flying away with another push of the button, you jumping to this enemy or to this point where the bone has landed. Again, there is the bone, striking, has a good range, and then back, so you can use those mobility to hunt down enemy Pokemon. And when you get level 13, it also removes the cooldown of Extreme Speed or Power Up Punch, so you can use this to chain your combo even longer. Yes, and now we have to talk about Close Combat. Lucario is a very good Pokemon, but I think this move is sadly not very interesting. Let's use it on this Apam. You see, you're dealing some amount of damage, but you don't have any additional boost. Like with Bone Rush, you can jump there, you can strike the enemy down, you can push it away. Close Combat is just dealing damage, and the Plus variant is just dealing more damage. And if you use Bone Rush at level 13, you get a cooldown reset on Power Up Punch and on Extreme Speed, depending on which move you take. And this is far more superior than this damage ability, where Pokemon can even get out of it, or if you're playing against enemy Pokemon, they will just jump out, and it's not as effective as Bone Rush itself. So my recommendation when playing with Lucario, depending if you want to hit hard with Power Up Punch or have more mobility with Extreme Speed, take one of those two, but always take Bone Rush. That's the perfect combination when playing with it and trying to rule the field. And at level 9 we get our Unite move Aura Cannon, which looks better than it hits, sadly. This deals damage to opposing Pokemon in the area of effect, and it also increases the damage dealt by the next Power Up Punch after this Unite move is used. It looks cool, the range is humongous, you can throw it around half the map, but the damage isn't as good and the preparation time is quite long. But let's have a look how this works. And at level 9 we get our Unite move, and like you see when we're using it, we have such a big range that neither the camera nor anything else will jump to it, but you can see it on the minimap that it goes about the whole top lane length when you're there. So let's use it and try to follow with the camera. You see it's going through up until to the next goal of the enemy, and the next attack is improved with this, so we have some speed boost and of course body barrier helping us, but that's kind of thing for every Pokemon. But you see, Unite move, let's strike it again, follow it, it goes a long way. The damage is subpar, but this can help to take a quick zap to steal and hit enemies when they're trying to run away from you or try to clear up the field a bit. Of course, we also have a passive ability. In this case, it's Stat Fast. When the Pokemon is at low HP, it's granted a shield and its movement speed is increased, so more survivability when the situation gets hot. And the basic attack becomes a boosted attack with every third hit, and it's performing a combo with the Bone. This deals damage to the enemy Pokemon, and it throws them for a short amount of time, which can help you to keep them a little bit longer at your side and then dealing this final blow. Now, of course, let's have a look at the battle items. And even after the patch from the 18th of August, I would still recommend Eject Button. Yes, the cooldown has been increased to 70 seconds, but this is still the most valuable option. You can dash through things, you get more mobility, and when choosing, for example, Power Up Punch as your move, You're losing the dashing from extreme speed, and it helps you additionally to get away or get into combat quickly. If you want to have another option, you could take Goal Getter with you. The cooldown has been reduced to 90 seconds since the patch, and when you're taking one item that I will show you, it can help you to improve your overall fighting, but still, eject button is number one, definitely for me. And we're talking about battle items, we know that this is the time for the question of the day. And today I want to know, what's your favorite fighting type Pokemon? You know, Lucario is fighting Steel, and I want to know which of all those available Pokemon is your favorite when it's about to take heavy hits to your opponent. Let me know down in the comments. Not only battle items, but also health items are very important, and this is my build for Lucario. First, the Focus Band. We get some more defense and special defense, and if we're low on HP, we get a certain percentage of HP back depending on the level of the item. Very good at survivability and helps you not only in the early game, but also later on. Then, still taking Body Barrier with me, on level 20 you get 400 HP plus, which is very important in the beginning and of course helps you later on. And when you use a Unite move, you and the Pokemon with the lowest amount of HP in your area gets a shield equal to a certain percentage of your max HP. And this is really good. I'm also playing Lucario with attack weight. What does this do? At first it improves attack, which is very good because we use the normal attack stat to deal damage, but every time we score a goal, the attack is increased by a certain number. This can be triggered 6 times in a row, and this helps you when you're trying to score quick goals. That's why I've been talking about Goal Getter earlier. You can get more attack with Lucario and deal more devastating punches. But you can take any other offensive item as well if you want. Muscle Band is also good, but the basic attack speed isn't as important with Lucario because you're dealing the most damage with the combos from your moves. And also Scope Lens, it improves your critical hit rate and critical hit damage if you want to go for that. Now we've seen everything what's to know about Lucario, from the moves to the health and battle items. In the next few sequences I want to show you some scenes from a gameplay where I've been using Lucario and how you can use him strategically in the game. And because I've read it in the comments sometimes, I know that sometimes the enemies are underleveled or overleveled, or there's some indifference between the matches, but it's sometimes really hard to get the right amount of players with the same skill cap, and so I'm trying to get some situations which you can learn from, even if there is some, like I said, difference between the level or the playstyle of the teams. But that's not important right now, let's have a look at the scenes. This sequence is very good to show you how much damage we can do with Lucario. First, pushing them away with Meteor Mash and getting some time to regenerate. And then we're starting to fight. The Power Up Punch to deal so much damage to strike them away, we can strike down the first one. Then again into the fight, next one down. Wigglytuff trying to get away, and it will succeed with that. But that's not the most important case, because you see the sequence is quite long. It's away from the goal, we have attack weight, so we can score the first points, and with that we're increasing our attack even further. Bone Rush getting unlocked, and now we can get more experience from the farm, and the big team fight starts again. Bone Rush striking first, then getting out of the fight, a Power Up Punch to deal an increasing amount of damage, and you see with the combination of Focus Band we have enough HP to get back to our goal, take the berry, and then get back into the fight. And here too, you see how much potential this combination with Power Up Punch and Bone Rush has. All the enemies are on the top, they're trying to get Rotom, and they succeed in that. But the damage output with our teammates is so high that we can control the enemies, and with the CC from Snorlax, we have a very good opportunity to keep them at bay. The ultimate move of us helps us to get some shield back and to keep the enemies on the point, and the level 9 Ninetales even trying with that Aurora Veil to attack enough, but Focus Band helps again, and we can strike all down. This is a cheeky one, we are waiting in the grass for the enemies to come. There it is, and now we see they're coming. Cinderace had 40 points, so we have to strike it down. There is the Power Punch, we don't deliver, but then we hit. That's all taking away the shield, then taking away the other damage, and we see again the situation like before. We have made so much enemies cry, and we can put the whole team, what was fighting against us, down to the ground. Although this was at the end of the game, I want to show you how much mobility you have as Lucario. First, Bone Rush, getting away with the teleport. Then fighting up with Power Up Punch. It helps you to get even further away, and you see, even if the timer has been up, we could make some meters, and that could help you in other situations as well. The other viable option, of course, is Extreme Speed, and you see, when unlocking it, we have 3 enemies. We will lose this fight, but I want to show you how much we can hit. There was a second hit, that's the third hit if we don't get CC'd, and we can get 4 hits because every time we hit a new enemy, we get a new regeneration of the move. And there we would almost have the next hit, but we get down and so we lose this team fight. Here again, extreme speed later on in the game. All the enemies are trying to tank down our gold, but there's the first hit. Then we have hit number 2. Hit number 3 is coming up after the sleep. There is hit number 3, hit number 4, and hit number 5. And we get all 5 down, and this makes a huge amount of damage with Bone Rush. We are getting down all the enemies one by one, waiting for a Unite move to strike the next one down, and again, extreme speed to target the enemy down. There's Wigglytuff, doesn't stand a chance, Bone Rush helps us to get to it, and we have Pikachu. And you see, here I made a mistake. Almost getting it with extreme speed, but it gets away. And as the last one, here we see a situation from beginning of the game. Again with extreme speed, you see how much of that power up we get with level 5. There's Pikachu. I'm getting too far into the goal, I have to be all honest, but it's enough so we can get down to the Ghastly again. You see level 4, so it will evolve in a second, there it is, but Pikachu is down. And with the move extreme speed, hit number 1, hit number 2, focus band helping us. We have so much damage, we can strike that down and win the situation with a little bit of HP for us. I definitely do not want to get hit by Lucario if it has a bad day. And hopefully you know now how you can use it effectively in fighting matches in Pokemon Unite, which items are the most effective for Lucario, which combination and combos in this case are the most effective, and how you can climb up those ranked ladders if you want. I hope you could learn something new, got some new inspirations, tips and tricks or strategies for the gameplay with Lucario, and I hope you had fun watching this guide. And don't forget, I forgot about our bet from the beginning. If you learned something from these things, I would be very happy if you would support this video with a like and the channel with a subscription. Like I said at the beginning, this will help to grow the community, to let YouTube know that this kind of content is good and you like it, and so more people can see it, more people can start playing the game, and more people learn how to play it correctly. So we can improve ourselves in the games itself and have more fun when playing with other people in standard or ranked matches. That's everything I have to say. Thanks for your time. My name's Kay and see you soon.